¿por qué la sociedad es mejor cuando Dios está presente en la vida pública?
Well, number one, because God's the ultimate source of truth. And there may be some people who say, well, I don't like it discussed that way. Well, then just think about it being nature or natural law. That we know wherever we go to church or not, that we're not in charge. And so for those of us who happen to be people of faith, talking about God in the public life reminds us of that source for truth. But the second thing is, it also reminds us of the moral obligation we have for proper behavior, for proper words, especially in a pluralistic society. And so ironically, we know this in the West, Spain, the United States, and many other societies, that when you talk about faith in the public square, it's a way of saying that we're going to protect all of the other freedoms that come from natural law as well. And so even for someone who says, I'm not all that religious, I'm not going to church anymore, talking about faith is a way of improving our politics.
Ujú. Hay quien dice que la religión debería no tomar posiciones políticas. ¿Qué opina usted de esto?
Well, I know why they say that, although I disagree, as you might imagine. And in fact, when you have a government that says we're going to keep religion out of politics, history shows that that always means the government is going to go to every house, in some cases literally, and say, you don't even have the freedom of conscience. You can't even have a legal right to think about God or think about religion. I would like to think even the most committed atheist or agnostic person would like to respect each individual's right to do that. Well, if that's the case, the only way to protect that is to allow, of course, religion to be practiced freely in a public way. What that isn't saying is that there's going to be an official religion that a government imposes. For us, the United States, obviously, our founding is born out of that principle. Different societies have different experiences with that, so we also have to be really careful and friendly when we're talking to people who disagree with us on this to remind them that's not what we're saying. We just want to practice our faith. We're not asking for it to become the official religion.
¿Qué es la esperanza para usted?
Hope for me, after growing closer to God and being a good husband and father and being a good leader, is for the entire West, I mean everyone in the world, but the West, to realize that our respective experiments in civil society, with all the achievements and the warts that each of our countries may have, is the most noble project in self-governance in the history of the world. And for people to rediscover through a love, through their patrimony, a love for their country, that there's a higher power that gives us that love. And to get back to church, or at least be willing to talk to friends about doing so.